Hi, Paul. Welcome to 23rd of March, 2020.
Hey Franco.
Yeah, homeschooling, working
Yep,
from home,
that's it.
the new normal.
The new normal.
Yeah,
It's pretty funny because the good thing is, so my daughter, she's just started today, and
at home.
she's actually learning quite a bit. She's
Yeah,
learning
yeah,
quite a bit of stuff for online.
yeah,
Using the computer, using the team apps, and
yeah,
all
yeah.
this type of stuff, and she's loving it. So there's always positives.
Did you set up the day like a normal school day? Because I had to get my kids to dress up um, in their uniforms and
Oh no, no, we
got to get to prepare their lunch. And
No, see, the thing is, I was going to do that because I know that when my son was doing it last week, he was eating so much food.
they can eat the fridge out of you. That's
It's the worst. So I said to him, I go, you know what, we need to set it up so it's like you're actually going to school. We'll do the lunchbox, put in your sandwich, and that's it. That's all you eat.
that's right. That's right.
Um, yeah, but he didn't have to go in his uniform. They just have to jump on, and they still do it from the two classes, then recess, then the two
Yeah, yeah.
classes,
Well, that's
and then
what we're
lunch.
doing as well. And anyway, we started today, and we got them to get in their uniforms, and I structured the day, put it on the whiteboard,
Yeah.
and it's really interesting though. I guess in some ways it's sort of saying it's unstable a bit the internet here, so hopefully we'll keep on going. But how systems stay online, like how to get on to move to online for schools,
Yep.
it's not as easy as we thought it was going to be, right? And so things crashing and stuff like that as well. But they're persevering, they've got the whole school workforce in place, doing it. So I
Yeah.
just wonder if that's from the conversation we had last time, whether that's where you want to start today, just about how do you move to online.
Yeah, yeah, I think that's a good conversation starter because
Yeah,
that's where most of us are. Like now, if you look at the kids are all online. With us as business owners or people that work for businesses,
yeah,
we're all working from home now, which is all online. We're doing a lot of meetings through Zoom or Loom or Google Hangouts and all these online platforms now. Um, Social media is getting a lot more traffic now for a lot of businesses and just people in general jumping on. I mean,
yeah,
they had a lot before, but now it's even more. The internet at home, a lot of people are buying boosters to put in their homes because the
yeah.
internet's lagging
Mm,
because so many people are on it now. Um, so yeah, moving online, it is right now very important, but also, I think it's a good thing because you're going to learn a lot more. You're going to
mm,
learn systems. You're going to learn how to do things a lot easier online. So it's a crash course into
yeah,
online.
yeah,
So the good thing is we're forced to do it, so we have
yeah,
to do it.
yeah,
It's not something like, oh yeah, I'll do it, but then put it on the back burner.
yeah, yeah.
Um, and and yeah, I think I think it's a good thing because you got to look at the positives because the way everything's going now with more lockdown measures and different things coming up, it is a good thing for everyone because you're learning.
Yeah, I think you're right, and I think that's the. I mean, even as a psychologist, whilst I do online, I do telehealth consultations. Increasingly, there's going to be more of that going on, isn't it? There's going to be more of that type of activity
Yeah.
and an opportunity to provide that type of service. So what sort of tips you reckon you can give people to get themselves thinking about this?
I guess the tips that I would say is the first one would be just to look at your digital presence. First thing is look at your digital presence because now you've got time to do it. So what I mean by that is you look at your website. So sit down and see what your website looks like. If the content on there is still what you want it to be, because things are changing. Your
Mm,
products, your services, the way your customers are, they always evolve and change. So maybe this is a good refresher to look at your website and see what you can update, what you
yeah,
can change, what you can make more fresh.
yeah,
Uh, and then look at your other digital footprint, which is your listings for your business online. So that
mm,
could be um, Yellow Pages, True Local, Yelp. Make sure all your details are correct there.
mm,
Make sure your Google My Business page is up to date, because Google My Business page, for a lot of business owners, it is really, really handy and very important to have. And a lot of businesses don't know that, or they don't really pay attention to it. So there's that. There's also your social media accounts. Make sure that your social media accounts are all up to date. You know, your contact details, your content. Make sure your content, because now you've got time, and especially now because a lot of people are on social media and looking for things. You want your business to not fall behind. You don't want people to forget about your business. So you don't want to stop. Right. So with social media, just keep doing content, but do helpful content, because a lot of business owners come to me and like, I don't know how to do it, or I don't know what to put on there. But you know what? The best content is the questions. Start with that. So your customers, what questions would they ask, or what problems can you solve with your product? And you put that up as content.
Yeah.
So I think that those things to start with would be really good to start with your online journey, because once you've got all that or your concrete slab as a business all set for online, then when you start doing advertising later down the track, or even now, when people see you, it's actually more relevant, and they get what they want, or you solve what the problems are. So I think that's really important. And then the good thing is, like right now, again, we're doing Zoom. So for business owners, test out, if you haven't done it before, test out your Zoom capabilities, or your meetings online. And there's a lot of different platforms that you can use. But test it out, because once you start using it, it actually is really good and easy. It's time consuming, and it's more effective, especially this day and age, because so many people are stuck at home and they can't go out places.
Yeah. No, so if it's to sort of say, well, basically check out the website, like check out your own online website, I guess, in some ways, like check out your own real estate online. I mean, in a way, isn't it? Like, because it's an asset in itself. So check that out. To think about, I guess in some ways, think a bit about, how you connect, what other networks you're connecting to in terms of social media networks, so Facebook and Yelp and Yellow Pages and so forth. And I guess going back to the first point around your own content because content's really quite important on your website, isn't it?
Yeah.
And so from that angle, but what about actually just reaching out to your customers and providing that online service as well? I guess it would be different types from there, but from a service point of view, like a lot of services that provide, might be pretty hard though, wouldn't it? Like
it would be hard, and that's why you'd with a lot of different businesses and industries, you need to, I guess, sort of have a sit down and do like a thinking tank. On what you can do. But the good thing is you've got a lot of help. So there's a lot of networks out there and social groups like Facebook groups or LinkedIn groups. There's all these groups everywhere where they're actually, it's a community thing now. So a lot of business owners have jumped on and have put through ideas and helping other businesses as well.
Yeah.
Like for example, with what example was it? So say for example, you're a salon. Okay. So a salon owner, I think now it's okay for the people to still go in there. I think at the moment, because they're past the first stage, but say eventually, or even now, while you're only getting drips and drabs of people coming in, you could start doing videos for your customers or for your content for online about how to wash your hair properly. I mean, I wouldn't know because I'm bald, but
it's an interesting example to use, I would have thought. But we could go into the psychology of that for quite some time, but
but that's what I mean. So there's all different ways you can sort of do things, and the reason why you would want to do a lot of this type of content is, for one, it's helpful. People will still remember you. People will share your content because it's helpful for them. So if they know other people that would want to, they share it. So what will happen is eventually, when the lockdowns lift or everything, goes back to normal, they know who you are and they'll come back to your salon, because you're giving helpful stuff, helpful information. Because there's so many shiny objects out there, especially online. You might click here and read something, and all of a sudden it takes you down the rabbit hole to here and there and there and everywhere.
Yeah. So there's sort of three things then you've covered off today, which I think are really quite important. One is about looking at your online presence, isn't
Yep.
it? And looking at your content, looking at your connections, looking at your social media.
Yep.
There's a distinction between what your online presence is, because in some ways, social media is also an avenue to promote your online presence, isn't it?
It is. It is.
Yeah.
So it's a big avenue because um, the eyeballs of customers and clients, business owners, everyone are on some sort of social media.
Yeah.
Billions of eyeballs are on there. So for you as a business owner not to be on there or not to put content on there, you are missing out on a massive opportunity in trying
Yeah.
to promote your business.
No,
A lot of the
yeah.
time it's free. You don't have to do paid ads all the time. You can actually just keep posting out. But what I would suggest is use a tool to make it so you can actually post out on a lot of different platforms.
Yeah.
Because your clients, your ideal client, you might think, oh no, it's only good for Instagram, but they could be looking on Facebook, they could be looking on LinkedIn, they could be looking everywhere else. You never really know. So if you've got your business and your digital presence on a lot of other platforms, and you've got a tool where you can actually post it out on those, because it does take time to make it easy for you, then that's better than just doing it on the one, because again, capturing those audiences. And again, it could be, say for example, I'm going to use hair salon again, just as an example, because I think it's a good one for this. So majority of them, they target Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah.
Which is good. That's where a lot of the people are, because it's photos. They like taking photos of what you can look like, but also that's their demographic, majority of them. Now, if they were to have their business on LinkedIn, they'll be like, oh, but why would I do that? It's not my demographic. But you know what? Someone on LinkedIn might find you, just out of nowhere, might find you, and they might recommend you to their family friend that is relevant to your industry.
Yeah.
And then that could be a sale, or that could be someone going through. So I guess it's just trying to be everywhere, and you're not sort of bombarding different platforms.
Yeah.
Annoying. You're just putting your business out there.
Yeah. So just to cover it, I guess I'll stick to three things, because often people just remember three things, but I mean I do anyway. But the issue around content. So think about your website presence. Looking at ways in which you might engage more effectively with social media. And then the other one is around developing content that is more that might be something you normally haven't done. So just doing one different thing, like for example, connecting with your customers in a way. What are they like when you ask about what questions people ask?
Mm-hmm.
When they Google search, what are the questions they keep asking? It's really a pain point that your customers got, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
So if it's about an example of the hair is like. It could be I got tangled hair, or my hair goes fizzy, or what I do when I can't, when I can't, if I can't get the hairdresser, what sort of tips could I use to better manage my hair? I don't know.
I know.
Maybe why we use this example, but
I should have used a barber for my beard.
A barber beard. You know what I'm trying to say? But the thing about it is, like, you got to do a stock take on your website and see what you've got. Then you see, what can I then use for my social media? Like, how do I connect more social media wise? But also, you might you might need to update or review your and update, create different type of content as well, isn't it? We could also do a session on each of those, couldn't we?
Yeah.
How do you do a stock take on your website? How do you do a stock take on your social media, and what type of ways you might want to think about your content as well?
Yeah, we can. I think, and the good thing is, just to go back, because I don't want to keep this on.
Let's just stick to 10 minutes or so. Yeah.
An easy way to generate the content for businesses out there is, if you don't know the questions your customers are asking, or you don't have a big list of what they ask, and the questions could be simple ones, it could be long ones.
Yeah.
Just Google it. So type in that question in Google, and then what will happen is Google will show you the top questions that have been asked a lot. Yeah. So they show you the top main ones.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Those questions as your content.
Yeah. That's really great. And one thing you told me some time ago is there's a range of people out there that produce social content for your business. So there's a range of those people out there that could say, oh, well, I can produce like 20 articles that you can put out, generic type articles.
Yeah.
And I guess one of the things I found about that one is, and look, if you want to do that, that's fine. You know, if people want to do that, that's fine. I found writing your own content is really good because it keeps you real, and it doesn't sound like it's doesn't sound like it's being regurgitated from some other place.
Yeah, no, that's 100% right. Because I know that with the I think it's the accounting industry. There's a platform where it just gives you the generic content, which a lot of accountants just use and put on their socials.
Yeah.
But when you do your own and you've got your personal face store, so you're not a faceless company, you're actually a personal own.
Yeah.
Way you actually speak and the way you write and what you actually do as the expert sounds so much better.
Okay. Well, why don't we finish up there? And I think we've got to about 13 minutes. So I think that's better than the 25 we had the other day.
That's way better than 20.
So if anyone's got any questions or any comments that they want to send through to Paul and I, I'll put it up on my Facebook, and you're going to share it then, Paul. And
yeah, I'll share it as well. And also I'll have in the links below just some handy tools that you can use.
Yeah, that's perfect. That's great. That's good.
But yeah.
All right, so let's catch up in another couple of days, and we'll focus on something else.
Awesome.
All right, cool.
All right.
Thanks,
Frank.
Bye. See you.